Hey guys, in this quick little vlog, I want to address an issue that keeps coming up over and over again. A question I get from people: should I learn this language? Should I learn this framework? Should I learn this database? If I learn this language and I make a mistake, will I destroy my career as a developer? So the reality of the situation is, don't get caught up with the languages and the frameworks and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because once you learn one programming language, all the rest are pretty much open to you in just a few days. Doesn't really matter. There's no one terrible language except for Ruby, and there's no one terrible, I'm just joking about Ruby, it's a good language. There's no one amazing language out there except for PHP. No, I'm just kidding. The point is that all these languages have their purposes. They all have their strengths and their weaknesses. All these frameworks have these purposes. They all have their strengths and their weaknesses. There's exceptions, like you're not going to learn Flash. Flash is dead. It's an over technology. You're not going to learn Scriptaculous now, right? There are some exceptions, but generally speaking, in the mainstream of programming languages and frameworks, you're gonna have all these competing solutions: Node versus PHP, Python, Django versus PHP Laravel versus Java Spring, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they all have their purposes, they all have their pros and their cons. And the one you choose comes down to A, personal taste, and B, the type of project that you're going to be working on. If you're going to be doing AI machine learning, you could do it in PHP. I've actually seen people put out code on PHP machine learning, but it's kind of silly. Even though I think PHP is a good language, not in that context, not in AI and machine learning. That's where you're probably going to do it in Python. Most of the time you're going to do it in Python. And there's other examples, of course, right? If you're going to be doing small business web development, I always tell people learn PHP just because the market is very favorable to PHP. You could do it in Python Django. You could do it in Ruby Rails. You could do it Java Spring. But I think PHP in that area, it shines. So if you decide that, I want to start off, I want to get into Python, you learn Python and you find out, I can't find any jobs in Python for whatever reason in my part of the world, because you find also that technologies and languages are very regional in that one country, it may be ASP.NET with C#, it's very popular. In another country, it may be PHP and Laravel, who knows, right? So let's say you decide you love ASP.NET and C#. So you learn that, and then you find, oh no, there's no jobs. Oh, is your career over? No. If you find out all the jobs are in Java, where you want to work, you'll be able to pick up Java very quickly, because you'll find that C# and Java are very, very, very similar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So don't get caught up with these tools. Try not to get caught up in the hype. It's normal, by the way, for noobs in any area, in any arena, to get obsessed with the tech. Some people will call it the gear obsession. So I've been learning how to shoot video and expose video properly over the last couple of years, to light it properly. And if you look at my videos over the last couple of years, you see some of them look pretty good. Some of them look like I'm like a Smurf. I'm all blue, and some of them look like I'm green, et cetera, et cetera. And that's simply because I just didn't know how to operate the camera properly. Now that I understand a little bit more about how to expose a shot properly, I'm finding out that, yeah, my $10,000 professional camera does make my life easier in some regards, but I now know how to take a camera like this, which is like a cheapo entry-level camera, and make it look good as well. So the gear is not so important. It's more about the skills, the fundamental understanding. That really is what separates the good developers from the not so good developers. So you can't really learn a bad language. You can't really learn or waste time learning something, because anything that you learn in Java, anything that you learn in PHP, anything that you learn in Ruby, anything that you learn in Python is transferable across all the other languages. So it's not a big deal. The key, again, as always, is the fundamentals. It's not knowing the technologies in detail. You have to understand that it's not learning the right technologies. There's no right technology except for the very specific circumstances, the type of job that you want, the type of project that you're working on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So try not to get caught up. Nothing is a waste of time. Nothing is a waste of time. Because I know a lot of people that get in there and they're worried, am I going to learn the right thing? It doesn't exist, the right thing. And even if you learn something that, again, there's no jobs in your area, you can, once you learn how to program in JavaScript, to learn Java, learn PHP, learn Python, learn Ruby, learn whatever it is, super easy, super easy. Take 5% of the time. So it's not a big deal. All right, that's it for today. Bye-bye.